The weather is absolutely perfect. We're gonna nail this one.
Here we go!
Well, we're here at the Trailheads Eclipse Hang, and Trailheads is one of my favorite places to go. This is one of my favorite hangs too, because it's almost like everybody that comes here is a really good friend, and it's almost like coming home when you come here. But one of the things about this is this amazing property. He has this plateau that sits up, and trees are just clear cuts some of this in between them, so it just makes a perfect place for everybody to gather. And there is an amazing fire pit. But take a look at all these setup. There's a lot of printed tarp. The Booze Brothers are well represented here. Let's have a look. Pickle setups over there. He got himself a V-bike. We got Don, Dave, and Jeremiah. So almost all the Booze Brothers are here. And one of the things great about coming to these hangs is you get to see everybody's setup. Everybody's super friendly. I still like to go around and take a look. Here's the clip-on pull-outs being used in action. And look at this gorgeous tarp. This is actually a bonded 3-panel. This is for John, but you can see it's extra wide because we put a 3rd panel in there. And then the highlight of almost every camp out or anything is always the fire pit. So here at John's place, we want to take a look at the biggest fire pit. So the idea here is it's oblong, and you can fit a lot of people around it. And he loads it up. He has a skid loader, or a bobcat, I should say, right over there. He's got plenty of parking, although you have to be able to ford a stream. But I'm able to do it in my van. Brings up some porta potties, and then he has built a pavilion. And John can cook up some great food. He is a chef by trade, and he goes all out on this. We had like pork tenderloin that was done 5 different ways. So that's all for now. This is day 2 of the eclipse hang. Everyone's getting excited for tomorrow when the eclipse is going to come, I think about 3 o'clock. We are really close to the epicenter of the trail, and we're going to get a really good view. We're hoping for a good day. By the looks of today, this holds up, we are going to have a perfect day. Walking through the campgrounds a little bit here, and I think this is Eli's gorgeous tarp. But you get to see a lot of different setup here. They're looking at an AMOC, and that's one of the fun things. People come here and they show things off, and you get to see a lot of new gear. And I don't know about you guys, but I am a gearhead. So look at this little caravan, whatever you want to call it right here, but they are set up so sweet. This is Julie. She's got her watermelon setup. Call this the land of the big tarp. That was the very first 3-panel tarp that I printed. It's real special because I made it so it faded towards the top, so you didn't have to match up the tops of them. And you got Sugarland on one side, and on the other side we got Roman ones. Our good friends Warren and Tiffany, they're all Southerners, but we don't hold that against them. There was an accident last night. Someone didn't turn on the curve, so we got a neat firework display since they took out a telephone pole and a transformer went. Apparently they tried to hit and run but didn't get far, but it certainly added to the excitement, like 1:30 in the morning last night. And then we had all the construction noise as they tried to replace a telephone pole. You could hear a grinder going and stuff. Well, you never know what you're going to run into. Here's a gorgeous, apparently, Trailheads. This is the Banshee. I see how it's printed with all the solar system is printed on it. So when you're laying in there, even on a cloudy night, even if you got a tarp up, you still get to see the solar system. So pretty cool. Here's some gorgeous printed tarp. Forget what the name of this print is up here, but this one's, I know this is Liquify. Liquid Purple North. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is Sharon in there. And she is fouling up this tarp with this terrible ash. Here, I think this is McIntyre's setup. He's got a pretty sweet setup there with his quilt and his tarp, and you can see he's got a ground cloth there, and he certainly likes to liquefy. I believe it is a little bit afternoon, and there's a couple people enjoying the fire still. Was it the massive log that they put on this thing? We're pretty sure that this one is gonna last for the entire weekend. So there's the pavilion, and a lot of people drop off here, but this is a great spot. It has electricity run to it, so at night we get to turn it on, and we're set up for cooking. We don't eat under here. Mostly this is a serving area, and he's got a sink set up. It's actually set up with a battery and a little pump. It takes some volunteers, but we get this stuff cleaned up. There's certainly no shortage of anything to drink. I have never seen this much soda. I think John went and had a call out. That's what they contributed was soda. So nobody's going thirsty. And then for cooking, we got our camp chefs and our next grills. And I think this is John's grill, but I used it and it works absolutely fantastic. And also, we got a smoker going. Hey, Mike, what are you smoking down here?
Smoking some pork butts.
Can I see? Oh, you are smoking some pork butts.
Got 40 pounds on there.
That's for dinner tonight, I assume.
Yep.
Oh, it's down in there too. Look at all that. I hope you can hear that. Those who play jungle bocce, which is basically a croquet setup that you throw a ball and then everybody tries to get closer, and we have a lot of fun with it. That will happen throughout the afternoon. We do this until dark. This is John's setup. There's a really cool putt down here. There's people that get offended by this. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is Muddy Girl Tarp. This setup is Lipify, and it is a gorgeous setup. And I remember this print, and we went back and forth to make this, but it turned out absolutely gorgeous. The Booth Brothers is an exclusive group of people that are civic-minded, and because of that, they get their own special tarp. We all get our names on it. I think there's 9 people that are in it, and I don't believe that we're open enrollment. I'm very proud to be a Booth Brother. I know that if I ever had a problem, all I would have to do is call a Booth Brother, be able to help me out. I know they would, and I would do the same for them. So don't let the name fool you. These are some of the most responsible people I know. Here's a tarp actually that I made. It's a Dyneema tarp, and it's got mini doors. You see this? So it covers up the ends. Kind of minimalist, but yet still gives you the coverage on the ends. But we used bonded tie-outs on here, and it was something that we experimented with. This tarp I think is 4 years old, and Jeremiah has been testing for us. We wanted to see how this wears, and what's really amazing by this is if you put a single point, particularly on the Dyneema, you get real strange pleats or wrinkles that are shooting out from this point. But when we did this, it really fans out the reinforcement. This tarp has held up extremely well. When we did it, we were very worried about these cutting through, but I know Jeremiah has had this out in a lot of storms, and other than the typical wrinkles that you get on a Dyneema tarp, it looks brand new. It is really cool. So this is someone that appreciates American-made cottage vendor, and you do tend to see quite a bit of that out here. So I'm going to go on a bike ride. There's a park right beside here that will be very bike friendly, and there is actually a trail that goes from John's property. That's John of Trailhead, but it goes right from his property to this park. I don't even have to go out on the road or anything. I brought my bike down here, and I'm really looking forward to going for a ride in it. So I'm going to bring you along. So Dave and I, we went out to this local park. Actually, there's a trail that goes right from John's, as I already mentioned, and it almost seems like there's unlimited trails back here. I've seen a lot of people having fun, out walking the dogs, out family, but this is awesome. And what's amazing about this, it's 2 miles away, is the whole world of shopping centers, and there's a big exit off the highway, and you have all those modern conveniences, but look where I'm at. I'm out in some marsh. I don't hear any traffic. Getting a little bit muddy. There's some great stream crossings that we're doing. And this is a perfect day for doing exactly that. You know, this is like a mini adventure on your adventure. We got a couple streams that we got to go across on here. So apparently through some of the marshier area, they put these gorgeous little boardwalks, which are super sweet. Man, I really like this. I've been coming up to John's for so many years. I've always neglected to go back into here. Now I regret it. Oh, look at the map.
Park Haven Point neighborhood access. You go to a neighborhood, you come back to the Orange Trail, or we take the Orange Trail.
Why don't we just take the Orange Trail?
Take the Orange Trail.
Yeah, we're taking the Orange Trail. Now we get to come up here, see where we're at. Ooh, we are in. We're in some real deep backwoods area here, very far away from civilization. But anyhow, this trail kind of meanders around through a couple neighborhoods and just kind of skirts, so more on you later. So this property is not just awesome, but I would love a piece of property like this. Nobody can bother you back here. You got plenty of places to play. They're off there shooting, and well, you don't have to go out in nature when, I mean, look what you got around you. So we're gonna go back up here to the group. It's a little bit of a muddy ride, but quite frankly, I'm going to have to change my clothes because I got quite wet through those stream crossings. But they were a lot of fun. I don't get much opportunity going single track. And here we are. I started a tradition of going out for sushi. And, well, they continued it. But I don't eat sushi these days because I don't eat the carbs. I've never really gotten to film a venture ride like that. So I don't know how well I did, but I really enjoyed it. All right, pretty soon we're going to get ready for dinner. Peace out.
Hi, it's Carla with a K. And I want to tell you one thing that I love about Dutchware Gear, and that's their great customer service. So I want to tell you about the order that I placed last week and the note that I wrote that said, have Dutch and Vicky bring my order with them to the Trailheads hang. They're already bringing some other gear, and if you've got a ghost table that you can demo at the hang, I would love to see one in person. And not only did they bring the ghost table along with my order, thank you, they also reimbursed me shipping. Completely unexpected, and now I just come to expect such great customer service from Dutchware Gear and all of their employees, just like Vicky.
I recently had the opportunity to do a testimonial for Dutchware, and I just got to say, that's the product to go with. If you're looking for a one-stop shop where you can find absolutely everything you need to include printed materials, I mean, there's 3D printed, there are tarps, there are hammocks, there are quilts, there's everything that's printed in the design that you want. A lot of care and attention goes into everything. And if you like titanium bling to make stringing things up that much easier, that's the place to go. So I just had to share that with everybody. It's a great outfit. People there care about all the products they put together, and it's a place to go. So check out Dutchware. Check them out online. Enjoy.
So we are day 3 of the Trailhead Eclipse Hang. And I gotta say, this has certainly been my favorite event this entire year so far. Boy, I don't know. It's hard to rank things like this. This one has got to be way up there. John was pretty limiting on who got invited to this, who knew about it. In a perfect spot. The weather has been pretty darn good. The eclipse is going to happen today, and I cannot wait. I've never seen one. And here I'm going to be with 50 of good friends that I don't get to see enough. And we're going to get to see something monumental. We don't know what happens afterwards. Supposedly, all the gas stations are going to be out of gas. Solar flares are going to mess with things. And the traffic moving away from this part of the country, this eclipse is just perfect on, is going to be bad. But I feel like I got a game plan. And if I check Waze and it's still bad, I'm just going to drive through the night. So you can see a lot of people anyhow starting to tear down their rigs. You know, one thing you can count on with a group like this is absolute leave no trace. Everybody pitches in. There were a bunch of us that were making breakfast burritos this morning. And then there's people that pitch in and they do the dishes. People were like, hey, I have some bacon to throw in. I got some ham, cutting up vegetables. Last night we made tuna sushi nachos for a nice, real late night snack. And people get to gather around and enjoy something like that. You know, there's a good calendar on Dutchware's website where you can go and it's interactive. So you're able to click on a location, see when that hang is. There's also a calendar if you want to go by date and find something near you. And you don't even have to have a hammock. You don't even have to camp. You could come for the day. You can check things out. You're going to learn and you're going to see a lot of nice people. The people in this community, they are amazing. Maybe it's that way in every community when you get people with like interests, but it just always feels more special with these groups of people. Many of these people I've known, there's people 15 years or longer on some of these. So I really get excited when I come here because there are newbies that are getting into gear and they get excited by it. People go and say, hey, Dutch, what do you have new? And I get to pull out some new wares, some prototype, something you may or may not even hit the market, but I get their input on it. We have testers out here that are testing out a new quilted hammock design that we're going to be doing. I love this. This is my job. What a fantastic job it is. So a little bit more on this property. He's got fields when you come in. Then he's got this little valley. There's this stream that runs through, and that stream is always running, and sometimes it's brutally running, but it turns out it goes down in a day or two because they did have a lot of rain over this past week, as the entire East Coast also had a lot of rain. But you can totally drive across it now. He hunts from this property. He can grow food from this property. It is totally self-sustaining. There is like a buffer between you and the world around here. Not only is there a nice little valley that his house sits on, but there is fields that kind of separate it. And then there's fence rows that separate that. I do hear traffic. You are reminded of being in civilization, but honestly, I'm quite used to that. So he's got deer stands up here. Right now, there's a lot of these little flowers coming up. You can kind of see them all throughout here. Some of them are flowering, but some of them you just know are not flowering yet. I don't even see any buds on these. Although look at this little beauty. I don't know what this is because I don't know my horticulture. nearly well enough. Spring is definitely in the air. That is going to be all. I think we're going to set up for the climax of the whole weekend, and that is going to be the eclipse. And I don't really know what to expect, except everyone's going to be wearing funny glasses and it's going to get dark. The weather is absolutely perfect. We're going to nail this one. Things always go my way. So until a little bit later, signing out. Well, I get one more video to say goodbye. They're either sitting into two camps. The ones that are staying, the ones that are going, the ones that are staying, getting ready for dinner. Everybody else is packing up and hugging everybody goodbye. But the eclipse was amazing. I did a time lapse. I don't know if it's going to show anything at all. And honestly, seeing it in person was way more important than having pictures, because honestly, anybody can just look at pictures that way better photographers than me took. Both. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.